What's up, everyone? This is Ronnie coming to you today with a video. Just gonna touch on a few things that I've seen a lot of lately, and it's just interesting. Um, we're just gonna touch on it a little bit and talk about it. Now, number one is the no views glitch, and number two, just slower sales in summer. Now, a lot of newer resellers will come on, and they've been on over the last few years, let's say, and they'll notice sales get slower this time of year, and they panic and get all worked up over nothing. But we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about this no sale, no views thing. So we'll get into the no views thing. There's a view glitch lately on eBay where it's not counting your views. It's been happening for a while. It's been like this for a few months now. We've had some listings have no views, some listings don't. It's not really that big of an issue from what I see because the stuff is still selling. And you could look up your own stuff to see if it's still searchable and still out there. I would recommend picking items that are a little bit easier to find. Uh, you know, as some people will look for Polo Ralph Lauren medium shirt. Guess what? You might be there for a while trying to figure out where that shirt is. So, with that being said, it's not hurting sales though. It's just not counting views is all it's doing. So, sales should still be coming in. I've sold two things over the last 2 days that had no views. So, stuff's out there. Stuff's still gonna sell. Just got to be patient. Now we'll get into the real issue. You know, is slower sales over summer. People panic. People get crazy. And I talk to people about this every year. People comment. People hit me up, and a lot of it depends on what you're selling. Also, I've seen. I've had this conversation with sellers over in the past that they just sell jeans, and summertime comes, people are not thinking about wearing jeans. They're heavy. There's an item that just drops off the face of the earth for the most part in the summer for whatever reason. So does sport coats, so does suits. A big thing that I sell, even though I sold a suit and a sport coat, or two suits or two sport coats over the last day. They are hard sales in the summer. They don't move very well. So it's one of those things. My business drops down. Now, like I looked at back at 2015, over the summer we did about 8,000. I think our best month was November, and we did 14, and March or April was really good too at like 13. So that year, but it's eBay is always a roller coaster. It's up and down. It's always has been, always will be. There's not really much you can do about it. The sales are going to be up and down, and I understand. Like a lot of people, it's crazy. Last year we took the summer off from eBay. We averaged about 4,000. I think our best month was 12. And our we changed how we did a lot of things too. We do a lot more Amazon. We started with Poshmark this year. We did Grail this year. We sell a lot more stuff on Facebook and stuff like that if you follow us. But clothing in general, just it drops off. Face of the earth in the summer. You can go. I'm gonna check this out actually real quick and see. But the sales drop off. We've done the numbers. We've done certain things to show people where it's impossible for whatever reasons. Clothing, people are on vacation. People are not in front of computers as much. Kids are home from school. It's one of those just things in general that you really have to pay attention to. So I'm gonna do a screen share here real quick. So here we are under the growth tab. You can go under sourcing. Just gonna put in something simple here for my categories. Say suits here, for instance. We're gonna click on suits. As you can see right here, it shows the volume here. It's coming across, and we always talk about it dips up in the spring here. See March, the sales volume jumps up. It's pretty good, but you can see right where we are right now, it's still going to go down even more over July and August. Before August, it starts to pick back up. You see that right there? It's like, well, here we go. And then July is the worst. See right there, it bottoms out. Um, Pick a different subject here. Let's go back to our categories just because, hey, we're a clothing seller. Go to dress shirts. Dress shirts, if I remember right, are pretty much just kind of, just to give you an idea. See, right here, up and down, kind of looks like the same trajectory. Pick some, let's just, for shits and giggles, pick another clothing item. We're not going to pick sweaters because that would be awful. But casual shirts, casual shirts now include long, short sleeve shirts, t-shirts, and stuff like that. And you can see right here, that stuff is actually slower in January and February, and then jumps up here in the spring into about September before it drops off a little bit. And it looks like, so you get a little more thing. Here's something to look for. Certain clothing items are going to sell better right now than they do. Let's see here. Go to bathing suits, like, for instance. Let's try something outside of. Oh, there we go. We'll do this. No, we're not going to do that. Damn it. That was where the consumer electronics. Let's just see here. Vintage electronics. Just check out vintage electronics. Come here. Oh, this thing is making me pick so many different things. Stereo receivers. As you can see right here, it shows a up tip for whatever here in the spring. It drops down a little bit and then picks up just before Christmas. A little bit weird of uptick there in those areas. Not sure why. And it even gives you an idea of which ones are better, or which ones sell at a higher percent. But anyway, you get the idea. You can play with that thing all you want. We've talked about it before. It's kind of cool. You kind of see the trends that go on in eBay. I mean, eBay is not trying to screw you in any way. It's just, you got to remember, like, hard goods sell a little bit better this time of year. People are still always looking for certain things. There's always a need for it. And if you want to get more into hard goods, there's some channels to watch. Go watch Craigslist Hunter. Go watch Garage Flips, Cincinnati Picker. Great people, great channels, and they do kind of like a little bit different from what we're used to, but it broadens your horizon, get your eyes on the more things. We hit a lot more yard sales, auctions, estate sales, looking for other things other than what we sell, which is clothing 90% of the time. And this kind of helps us. And there's some other things to keep in mind too, like there's a lot more other sites on eBay now or not on eBay, on the line now, taking the little pieces of eBay slowly, like Poshmark, Mercari, Grailed, Bonanza's still even around, Etsy. Does anybody sell on Bonanza? I don't even think Bonanza comes up. But anyway, make a long story short, Facebook, Lego offer up now, and now most of those sites you could ship onto. So I mean, this stuff is out there. There's other sites popping up to give eBay a little bit of competition, to take a little bit away from eBay, and people are changing. The people that were selling, the younger people, I don't think go to eBay right away. They might go to Porsche, they might go to Grailed. Um, there's younger people I talk to, and they don't even like shopping on eBay. eBay seems like an old platform to them, like for older people. Like they're like, nah, Poshmark's so much better. There's a sites that are a lot more mobile friendly too. So I mean, something to think about going forward. Trying some of these other sites, see if there's anything. It's good to have other sites, and some things that we do to help us over the summer, because we know there's going to be slower sales. And a few things I do is, number one, I have money set aside for this. We don't live paycheck to paycheck, because if I did that, I just go back to work. Like, it's too much of a hassle, too much of a stress, to deal with that. I rather just I couldn't. If I had to live paycheck to paycheck reselling, I would go back into working for somebody else again and do eBay on the side just to have that extra money. It doesn't make any sense for me to be getting by paycheck to paycheck, but I'm out here, like, it just doesn't make any sense. You got to get ahead. Um, if you're struggling, is it really worth having your own business? And so I always save, always have some money set aside. Another thing is we stay out, we keep back a lot of Amazon inventory. We find a lot of, we don't do our arbitrage at all, but we find stuff at yard sales or state sales, or stuff over the winter. We put it aside, thrift stores. We'll put a lot of stuff over the side and we keep it there. And then we start to send it in as the summer gets near. And then I'll probably be sending some stuff in as Prime Day's coming up here pretty soon, probably 3 weeks away or so. So I make sure we always usually have a lot of stuff in for that. Sometimes we do good, sometimes we don't. Just depends if we have what people are looking for on Amazon. And then we also we buy and sell a lot of vintage advertising, and it's either hit or miss over the summer. It really is. There's a lot more people out there, but people are on vacations. People are not up on top of things also. So that's what we do. This is a little bit of an explanation of why you get summer sales and our summer slowdown, whatever you want to call it. But like, comment, subscribe, just keep building. And a lot of people, I'll make this point too. A lot of people don't see the slowdown maybe the first year or two they resell, because they're constantly increasing the number of stuffs they have. Like, one summer they may have 400 items. The second summer they get into it, they may have 800, 1,000 items. That next year they may have 2,000 items. So to them, they're not seeing really that much of a slowdown from the year past, because they're up, because their numbers are up. But when you start to plateau across a plane, you will see somewhat of a plateau. I've seen all kinds of people talk about it, and there's certain things you could do. Maybe try promoted listings. I've talked about those before in the past. Put a few percent on it, throw it up. I kind of think it helps. It duplicates your listing. There was something I was looking at yesterday to see where we were in the search, and I seen two of my listings being sponsored plus the original one. So there was technically three of those listings out there. So get your stuff in front of more eyes. eBay adapts. We have to adapt the way we sell on eBay. Just the way we have to do it. Just nothing we can do. But like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.